When people think about startups, the focus often lands on the product, its features, its design, or its technology. But in reality, one of the most important levers of growth is pricing. Pricing is both an art and a science. It determines how much revenue you generate, how customers perceive your value, and where you stand in the competitive landscape. Get it right, and pricing accelerates adoption, builds momentum, and creates sustainable margins. Get it wrong, and even the best products struggle. Too low, and you leave money on the table, undermining your potential. Too high, and you block adoption, scaring away early customers. Pricing is never a one time decision, it's a living, evolving strategy that adapts as your product matures and as markets shift. For startups, mastering pricing is about flexibility, experimentation, and alignment with customer value. It's one of the most powerful tools you have for shaping growth. Pricing carries far more weight than many founders realize. It influences three major areas. First, pricing has a direct revenue impact. It's not just a number on a page, it determines your revenue trajectory and how quickly you can scale operations. A $10 product with 1,000 users yields $10,000. The same 1,000 users at $20 doubles your revenue instantly without any extra effort in marketing or product development. Second, pricing serves as a value signal. Customers interpret price as a proxy for quality. A product priced too cheaply can seem untrustworthy or basic. A product priced higher sends a message of exclusivity and professionalism. This signaling effect influences perception as much as the features themselves. Third, pricing defines your market positioning. Too low, and you risk being seen as a budget alternative. Too high, and you limit adoption. The challenge is finding the sweet spot where pricing reflects both your value and your growth ambitions. The critical lesson is this: early pricing is not final, it's an experiment. Startups should treat pricing with flexibility, making data driven adjustments based on customer behavior and feedback, rather than locking themselves into rigid structures. There are four principles that guide effective startup pricing. The first is value driven pricing. Price based on the value you deliver to customers, not on your internal costs. Customers don't care how much time or money you spent building your product. They care how much it improves their lives or businesses. The second is simplicity first. Early stage pricing must be simple. Complex tiers and confusing structures kill conversions. One clear option or a simple free versus paid split is far better than overwhelming customers with choices. The third is competition awareness. Customers don't evaluate your price against your expenses, they compare it to alternatives. Whether those alternatives are direct competitors, substitutes, or even do nothing scenarios, your price must reflect the relative value you provide. The fourth is model alignment. Pricing must fit your business model and your ideal customer profile. A SaaS product might use subscriptions, an infrastructure service might use usage based pricing, and a luxury product might succeed with premium pricing. Alignment ensures sustainability. These four principles, value, simplicity, awareness, and alignment, form the foundation of pricing discipline. Ignore them, and you risk confusion, misalignment, and lost opportunity. Now let's look at four of the most common pricing strategies startups use. The first is penetration pricing. Here, you launch with low initial prices to win users quickly and gain market share. The idea is to build momentum through adoption and then increase prices once you've secured loyalty. Netflix famously used this approach, starting cheap, then gradually raising prices as their content library and market position strengthened. The second is value based pricing. This ties your price directly to the perceived outcomes customers achieve. Instead of charging what it costs you to deliver, You charge based on the benefit they receive. This often leads to higher margins because customers are willing to pay more when the value is obvious. The third is usage based pricing. Customers pay for what they actually use. This model, seen with AWS, Twilio, and Snowflake, is especially effective for infrastructure services. It feels fair to customers and allows adoption to scale naturally as usage grows. The fourth is premium pricing. Here, you set a higher price to signal quality and exclusivity. This appeals to customers who equate higher prices with higher value. Think of Tesla or Peloton, where pricing reinforces brand identity as much as it generates revenue. Each strategy has strengths and trade offs. The right one depends on your product, your market, and your growth stage. Pricing is not a decision you make once, it's an ongoing experiment. The best founders test, learn, and adapt. One method is customer surveys, specifically the Van Westendorp price sensitivity test. This helps you map out willingness to pay ranges and identify price thresholds customers consider too cheap, too expensive, or just right. Another method is A B testing. You can run experiments with different pricing pages and track conversion rates. Small variations in price points, plan structures, or wording can reveal powerful insights about customer behavior. A third approach is pilot programs. By testing pricing with early adopters, you can measure not only signups, but also churn, satisfaction, and usage patterns. Early pilots show you whether customers stick around once they've paid. Finally, commit to data-driven decisions. Adjust pricing based on evidence, not gut feelings. Track conversion rates, revenue growth, and retention. Then iterate to find the structure that balances adoption and margins. The golden rule. The best pricing strategy is the one that evolves alongside your product maturity and your understanding of customer value. Flexibility, not rigidity, wins the game. Let's ground these concepts in real-world examples. Netflix began with penetration pricing. Their low initial prices attracted millions of users. Over time, as their library expanded and customer loyalty grew, they increased prices gradually without losing their base. Today, Netflix charges significantly more, but their market strength allows it. Slack used a freemium model to drive adoption. They let teams try for free, then nudge them toward paid plans by limiting features. This created organic growth while also converting serious users into revenue. Pricing was designed to match both adoption patterns and willingness to pay. Snowflake embraced usage-based pricing. Their model was perfectly aligned with their infrastructure service. Customers only paid for what they consumed. This made the platform viral within organizations, as teams could adopt incrementally without massive upfront commitments. These stories highlight the central truth. Pricing evolves. It starts simple, adapts to customer feedback, and matures as the company scales. No successful startup treats pricing as static. They experiment, refine, and align with customer value every step of the way. Pricing is one of the most powerful levers for startup success. It defines revenue, signals value, and positions you in the market. It is not about guesswork. It is about principles, strategies, and constant testing. The key principles are clear. Price based on value, keep it simple, stay aware of competition, and align with your business model. The strategies vary: penetration for fast adoption, value based for maximizing margins, usage based for fairness and scalability, and premium for exclusivity. The process must always involve testing and iteration, using surveys, A B testing, and pilot programs to make data driven decisions. The stories of Netflix, Slack, and Snowflake remind us that pricing is a journey. It evolves as your product matures and your understanding of customer value deepens. Start simple, test relentlessly, adapt with agility, and above all, remember that pricing is not just a number. It is a narrative about your value in the eyes of your customers. When you master this narrative, pricing stops being a challenge and becomes a growth engine. It becomes not just a tactical decision, but a strategic advantage that propels your startup forward.